Hi, you're listening to Phil DeBella, and this is FlashCast by PDB. And today I want to talk about relationships. How do we make relationships work? And this is something that's really, really important in everyday life, personally, professionally, family, whether the relationship is with yourself, whether the relationship is with a family member, or whether the relationship is on a professional level. You know, this is important. Making relationships work is one of the fundamental ingredients to achieving success. Now, the key to making relationships work is the art of relating to others, right? And when we talk about relating to others, it's not about relating to the object. It's about relating to the person. It's about being on the same wavelength. And what I find that is when you relate best to others, it's because you have shared values. And you'll find that a lot of people, when they're going through ups and downs in terms of relationships with people, whether it's personally, professionally, or even with ourselves, it's because we're not on the same wavelength of shared values. So one tip around making relationships work is being able to understand that it's all about the art of relating to others. And what you're looking for is that it's not about the object. It's not necessarily about the instance, that situation. What it is that the higher ground of it all is about values. So identifying what your values are and understanding what other people's values are. And if you actually did a values exercise of, you know, the inner circle exercise of where you put yourself in the middle and say, what are 3 key values that mean to me? What's your next outer circle look of people, whether it's your family, your kids, and what are their values? And then you start bridging it out till you get to the outer layers of relationships. You'll start to see that there's a common theme. Those that you get on best with and you relate with, right, where your relationship actually works is because you have shared values. Now, it doesn't mean you have to have the same values. It means that you have shared values, that even on the values that you might disagree with, that there's a common understanding and ground. The next thing about making relationships work is all about when your desires overtake your assets. You know, when you look at where you are and you're never happy. So you've got a car and you desire a better car. You've got a house, but you desire a bigger house. You went on a holiday, but you wanted to go on a more extravagant holiday. Desires are a common denominator of when relationships don't work. And what I mean specifically is when your desire overtakes what your actual current situation is. And you'll find that happens a lot with relationships. And that's why friends that have been friends for 20 or 30 years begin to argue. Working relationships that have been strong for 10 years break down, is that desire to overtake, where their desire overtakes their asset, meaning where they want to be is not where they are right now, not their current position, then it starts to breed unhappiness. And then as humans, when we're unhappy, we start to want to blame people. Rather than look within, we look without. Rather than looking at how we can fix the situation, we're constantly looking what others are doing to ruin our situation. So you need to understand that. And the simple way to understand that part about desires and current situation is, where am I now? Where do I want to be? And then build the roadmap to get you there. And understand that it's you that has to make things happen. It's not the people around you that are responsible for your success. It's not those around you that are responsible for what you achieve or don't achieve. And of course, you've got to keep your desires, intact. You've got to keep them reasonable. Yep, we've got to have stretch goals. We've got to have, positions out there so that we're striving towards being better. However, this is different to different people. Some people work better under pressure. Some people don't. This is personal. So if you want to make relationships work, you need to make sure that your desires don't overtake your current situation where it breeds unhappiness. Now, the other thing about making relationships work is that you got to understand that is what the relationship is built on. If your relationship is built on duties, meaning what can I do for you, this is always going to breed success. I'll never forget before Jana and I got married in 2003 when we did our, obligatory course with the priest, and the priest said, the best advice I can ever give you is it's not what you can take from each other, it's what you can do for each other. And that's something that we've not only applied in our marriage, but we've applied as individuals with our friends, with our family, with our children, with ourselves. If you build a relationship with yourself, with your family, or with your colleagues around duties, meaning what can I do for you, then you are on a far greater road to success. However, when you see relationships that don't work, they're often built on rights. They're built on my right, or they're built on power. And you've heard me in other flashcasts talk about interest, rights, and power. You can simply put this into this picture as well. Making relationships work, the key part of doing that is build it on duties. Be in service to somebody. So when it's about you, be in service to yourself. When it's about family, be in service to your family. When it's about work, be in service to your colleagues. That will breed success. However, if you build relationships based on rights, what can I get from somebody, then you're setting yourself up for failure. And that's not somewhere we obviously want to be. The next one I want to discuss is the difference between love and attachment, because people are very quick to say, I love this person, I love that person. Then, we hear them, they meet them once, they meet them twice, and all of a sudden they love them. Now, love doesn't need to be in a sexual, amorous way. Love can be, deep desire, deep attachment, emotional engagement with the person. But we need to understand that there is a difference between love and attachment. Love is unconditional, and it takes a long time to build to a level where you can love unconditionally. You need to, as the Italians say, share a lot of salt together before you can actually be in a position where you would love unconditionally. Attachment, whereas, can be, I'm attached, I have an affectionate today for this person, yet tomorrow I don't have that attachment because they've done something to upset me. That certainly is not love. Love doesn't switch in between today I love them, tomorrow I hate them. That is a grounding to show that that's more about attachment and not about love. You need to understand the difference and understand that love is like a plant that grows. It's like a bonsai tree that needs to be pruned and shaped into a direction, and then it becomes resilient. So, the early life of a bonsai tree is very, very delicate and fragile, and then as it gets looked after and nurtured and clipped, it becomes stronger and stronger and able to weather a storm. So it's a great analogy to describe love. Attachment is that instant, oh, that person's great, wonderful, yeah, or the next day they've upset me, hey, there's an issue here. So to recap, making relationships work, 4 key ways to pin it down to help you be better today than yesterday. Understand that it's the art of relating to others. Remember, it's not about objects. It's about relating. It's about relating, and the way you'll do that will be around shared values. 2, desires overtake your current position. Make sure that you're happy with who you are today and you're striving to achieve what you want tomorrow rather than looking at external for fulfillment, which then breeds unhappiness. 3 is make sure that you're building your relationships on duties, on what can I do for you, not what can I take from you. And then finally, that there is a big difference between love and attachment, and that love actually takes time to grow, nurture, to get to that stronghold where you have this deep affection for somebody that it's going to be bumpy, but you're still there. There's still that emotional engagement regardless. Attachment is that falling in and out of love, so to speak, where today they're great, tomorrow they're not. Now, I hope that helps you understand a little bit more from my perspective of making relationships work. Relationships are the foundation of success. We all want to be part of society, and you can't be part of society if you're not actually relating with people. So, making relationships work is a key area that we should all be working on, and it is something that we need to work on daily, and it's not something we'll always get right. I'm the first one to say that I'm far from perfect in this area, but constantly I'm looking and reflecting on how I can be better today than what I was yesterday in terms of relationships, because, as I said, the relationships underpin success, and people are not islands, and we can't not achieve greatness, and whatever greatness is to an individual, we cannot be achieved without knowing how to build strong relationships with those around us. And whether the relationship is personal, professional, family, we all have them. Till next time, you've been listening to Phil DeBella, and this is FlashCast by PDB.